What is going on, guys? We are back, and today we are going to be starting a brand new Surviving With series, which is going to be Surviving with Immersive Engineering. Now, that may sound a little familiar to you guys if you've been around for the last 4 years, or you went and watched some of my older videos, which is probably the more likely of the two, because the first Surviving With series to ever be on this channel was Surviving with Immersive Engineering, and that was all the way back in 1.7.10. I was still in high school and I am now a college graduate. I had a horrible microphone, so we've come a long way, and along with that, the mod itself has come a long way. So obviously we are in 1.12 now, and the mod has grown from being a lesser known, relatively new tech mod that I personally thought was just kind of cool and funky to being one of the most well-known, well-received, and well-rounded mods to ever grace modded Minecraft. And I really don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that, because it is one of the top downloaded mods too, other than, those, generic ones that you have to download for everything. It's got a ton of downloads. Everyone loves it. So it is no surprise that when I asked you guys on Twitter today if you'd like to see me revisit old large mods that have changed a lot in a new Surviving With series and sort of redo it, you guys voted with a resounding 100% yes. And so we are going to be revisiting Immersive Engineering, which is my favorite Surviving With series that I have done thus far. So without further ado, today we are going to be covering power generation in the early game, and that is going to be the Waterwheel. But to get there, we are going to have to go through a lot of different steps with the coke oven and the blast furnace, so it's not super simple. We got a lot to cover today. But before we do that, we do have one more thing to go over, which is going to be going over what the Surviving With series is for those of you who may be new and have never seen it before. So the general idea of this series is to pick a big mod like Immersive Engineering that changes the game in a pretty fantastic way. This adds ore generation, huge machines that are multi-blocks and are sort of tiered, a lot of different tools that you can mess around with, power transportation, power generation, item transportation, all these different things that you can ask for. Combines them into one mod, and then we play through the game with that and just sort of see the logical progression of things, how far we can take stuff, how much we can automate things, all of that. So instead of playing through it in creative, we go through in survival, and it's sort of like a step-by-step survival tutorial. Now, we play through it with just one main mod, but of course sometimes those mods have add-ons like Immersive Petroleum, so we are playing with that. And then we have quality of life mods, like you can see journey maps. If we open up the inventory, you can see that we have NEI over here. I think we have Wayla, or I might have that disabled right now, but it should still be in the mod pack. So you can find a list of all the mods that are included in the description, and then along with that, in the description you can find a link to the Immersive Engineering main mod download, and you can find all the other mods from there. And then along with that, you can also find the world seat in the description if you want to play alongside me. Although, you know what? Strike out on your own, give it a go in your own world. Or if you want to follow along with me, feel free to do that, but I don't think this is a super special world. I just picked a random mountain and we are going to build into that. So, with all that out of the way, take a nice deep breath and we will jump into things. So, like I said, we are going to be going for power generation, but to do that, we need to sort of do a roundabout method of things because we need both steel and creosote oil. So to get steel, we need the blast furnace. And to get creosote oil, we need the coke oven. And to make both of those, we need a lot of stuff. So as you can see, I've done a fair bit of gathering, and for the most part, it was either specific gathering, like getting clay, or caving, which is why we have a ton of iron, redstone, diamond, we have some gold, a fair bit of copper, all those different things, because I went caving knowing that we were going to need a ton of resources because Immersive Engineering is super resource heavy. So the first thing that we want to make is actually going to be the manual, because Immersive Engineering has one of the best manuals in the game that will walk you through everything. If you do not feel like watching videos, you do not have to. You don't even have to pull up a wiki. You have an in-game wiki right here that is super extensive. It shows you the three-dimensional builds, all the crafting recipes, how it functions, everything. So this is by far and away probably a better teacher than me. And yes, I know I might be selling myself a little bit short, but it is pretty fantastic. And it's a lot of the time how I learned when I first started. So I would definitely suggest making it. And so we are just going to need to make a quick lever here, and then combine that with a book, and we will be all set to go. And apparently my cat is munching on some food in the background right now. Hopefully you guys can't hear that, but if you can, you should be jealous because it's pretty nice food. So now we have the manual. Just doing a quick rundown of this. When you open it, you can see sort of overviews, and then there's general categories, so power, wires, and generators, tools, simple machinery, heavy machinery, oil processing, and questionable inventions. So some of these are added by the different add-ons that we put in, but a lot of them are just general ones. So overview and resources, you can see we have the coke oven here, the crude blast furnace, things that we're going to be getting into today. If we click on this, it describes all of it. You can see it says creosote oil right there, nice bold big letters. And if we go over, you can see it tells us how to make the coke brick. It tells us how to make it, and it actually shows us an image of how to make it in 3 dimensions, and you can pause and play and sort of stack it up as you go. So like I said, it's a pretty darn amazing in-game wiki. So the next thing we are going to have to make is going to be the hammer, which is pretty much like the wrench that you would use for all other mods, but Immersive Engineering, whew, it strikes out on its own. So we're going to have iron, string, and some sticks. I actually had to go out and specifically kill a spider in the daytime because I forgot that we were going to need string. So I went and did that, and thankfully it only took me killing 3 different spiders to manage to actually get the string that we needed. So not too bad, all things considered, but I'm lucky that they lived until the daytime for me. So we now have the engineer's hammer. We're basically a full-fledged engineer now. Joke's on you guys, I actually am, but I don't have a hammer. So, well, at least not in real life I don't, but I do in-game now, so my life is essentially complete. So the first thing we're going to make is the coke oven because we need to let it run because we need creosote oil. And what we're going to be doing is essentially throwing coal in there, and it turns into coal coke and then gives us creosote oil as a byproduct, but we actually want it. So what we need to do is use clay, bricks, and then sandstone. I believe this needs to be sandstone, right? It can't just be sand. Yes, I do believe it needs to be sandstone in the middle, and that'll give us 3, and we need 27. So we'll grab our sand out of here and use it to make sandstone, and I think we should have enough. Oh my gosh, no, we're actually 1 short. So let us sleep, and then we need to take a little bit of a trip. There are some beaches by this house. It is a nice beachfront property, so we can run out there and hope we don't get killed yet again. I don't think we will. I made some armor after I got killed the first time and dealt with the nether and everything, but it was too little too late. I actually had finished all of the gathering I needed when we made my armor, so didn't really serve its purpose then, but I'm sure it will in the future. Okay, so we get back here and we can go finish this up, and then we need to, okay, so I cooked my bricks down in there, and we also need clay. So I'm hoping that we have enough. It looks like we do. Right, do we need 7? Okay guys, so we are back. Slight miscalculation on my part. We were a little bit under. For some reason, I thought we needed 21. We need 27. So I was a little bit under on that estimate. You guys gotta give me a break. I do math all day at my job, so coming home, doing math again is a little bit rough, but you know what? It worked out for the best because my cat started losing it right when I made that miscalculation, so the cut was justified for multiple reasons. So I'm really killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. But what we're going to do is set up the coke oven, and I think we're going to set it up over here. I did not make enough room yet, so what we're going to do is sort of dig out this area right here, and then I'm going to move my bed because I want both the coke oven and the blast furnace to be right near each other. So we're going to put it down right like this. We're just going to do a full 3x3 filled in thing that I'm going to fill in a very messed up manner, and then we are going to click on it with the engineer's hammer, and there we go. It's got a nice little graphic. You right click on it and it is good to go. So we open this up, and really the only things that matter is going to be, this is where we put the coal in, this is where we get the coal coke out, this is where the creosote goes, and then this is where bottles would go if we wanted to put them in and take them out. You can automate it, but we're not going to do that right now, and we need to grab out some coal to put in there. So I think we'll actually do it as a block right now. Actually, no, we won't do it. We don't want to do it as a block right now because we don't need that much. We're not doing mass production. So I'll throw these in there. It does take a little bit of time for it to actually go down. I don't know. So it gives 500 millibuckets per piece. We need a lot of this because one bucket gets us 8 pieces of treated wood, which we'll go over later. And we need a lot of that to make all the water wheels that we want. So we'll put that in there. We'll let it cook down while we start working on making all the things for the crude blast furnace. So you're going to make it in the exact same way. It's going to be a 3x3x3 completely filled in, so we need 27. But this one is a little bit more expensive. It means you have to go to the Nether to actually make this one. And it seems that we are both short on bricks. I guess I saved way too much clay. So we are short on bricks, and also down here we are cooking nether bricks. But thankfully I have the hardest thing to get, which is the blaze rods. So we'll turn all of these down into blaze powder. That is more than enough, but like I said, the shortage we have right now is bricks. And I don't even know if we have all the clay that we need to be able to make it. So luckily, there should be some more clay down here. Like I said, it's a beachfront property, but we are kind of decimating this beach right here already. Not very nice beach, I'll tell you that. So let's see, where is some clay? There's got to be some over here. There's no way I snatched all the clay up already. This river is going to be good to us. I know it will. Oh, see, you know what? I told you guys it would be. It'll be good to us right over here, right by the edge. So we can grab all this, and this should be more than enough. Thankfully, we don't really need to deal with this after this episode. Eventually, you can get to automation, and there are better furnaces. But we got to stick with the crude ones early on. And surprisingly, the most annoying power generation to set up is the early game one. Later on, it's not as bad. You get to make really automated stuff, and it's much more efficient. But the early game power is actually pretty rough in Immersive Engineering. It makes you actually play the game, unlike other mods where you can just kind of skate by. Okay, so if we grab these bricks out, I don't know how many actual nether bricks we're going to need, considering we have to do the recipe 9 different times. So, okay, yeah, so we definitely need more of these. So I am going to hang out right here. We're going to let these cook, we're going to let that cook, and I will jump back when we have all of the things that we need to set up the blast furnace, and then hopefully move on from there. Okay guys, so we are back now. I just finished cooking down all the regular bricks. The nether brick finished right before that, so we got to use both furnaces, and of course we have more than enough blaze powder, so there we go. 27 blast bricks, and we get our hammer out, which means we are ready to start putting these down. I did move the bed so we could put these down right next to each other, and we are going to have to move that torch. And I also, keep misclicking on that. I also cleared out a little bit more room over here just so we can actually see the different faces to these. There we go, really Hot Topic. Let's all not pretend like we didn't shop at Hot Topic when we went through our edgy teenager phase, except mine lasted till the freshman year of college. So let's not focus on that, but it's all about honesty here, so you guys should know that. I don't know if I've ever told you guys, I actually had snake bites through my freshman year of college. Nose rings, snake bites, and then I gave that up, traded it out. Okay, so now that we have this, we can grab out some of our coal coke, throw it in here, and throw in some iron, and it can start cooking down into steel. Now this takes a while too, and again, we are still waiting on getting more creosote. I'm actually going to toss all this in there, and we'll just leave some of our iron in. But what we should probably do is sleep now, so that we can get our bed reset in case we die again, which we're not planning on doing. We are not, but it could happen. And then we need to make a couple buckets and start bringing water up here, because we need buckets for 2 things. We actually should make 3, because we're going to be using one for the creosote, and we'll actually make an infinity pool right out here. We'll keep the house nice and clean, but because we need a lot of water for the water wheel. And it looks a little bit weird inside the house right now, but that's because I actually set it up so that it's all ready to go. I actually grabbed 3 buckets. We don't really need that, but I set it up so it's all ready to go, and we can place down the water wheel when we have 3 in the fully optimized setup. Just so that it kind of speeds things up and we don't need to clear out a bunch of space. So that's why it looks a little bit gross over here, but this was actually all for laying stuff out and making our lives a little bit easier. But like I said, we do need to wait on this, so we can start filling these up with creosote, to sort of start working on the recipe. I don't know how far we're going to get because making the water wheel requires treated wood. So if we look at the water wheel here, the completed one requires 1 steel ingot. So ideally we're going to have 3. And then we are going to have water wheel segments. So we technically need 12 of these. And each of these is going to require 3 treated wood planks and 4 treated wood sticks, which is going to mean that each one requires 5 treated wood planks. So 5 times 12 means we need 60. So if you can get 8 of those, that means we need 5 buckets total. So 5 buckets of creosote, not too bad. We can start crafting these now and start placing them down. But yeah, so to make it, we put them like this, and then the creosote in the middle, and we get treated wood planks. And then we can put this back in and get even more. And then we will just head back over, and we should be able to get out 1 more bucket. There we go. And then we can do 1 more in here, and we are at 24. So I think we are most of the way there. Did I do awful math? I feel like I did awful math somewhere down the line. If we need 12 of these, we need 60. Oh my gosh, I did horrible math. We do not need 5 buckets of creosote. We need over 5 buckets. We are going to need 8 buckets, and it's going to go a little bit overboard, but we're going to need 8 buckets. It is so late here. Okay, well, we can start making it. I can give you guys the general idea, and then we can cut back when we have all 3 to do the actual water placement. So we'll do the 3 sets of treated wood sticks that we need. So we'll place these like this, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I guess we actually technically need to do the 4th set. I don't know why I did 3. And then there we go. So we have the 4 water wheel segments. This should be done with the steel. So we have the steel ingot here. Don't know why I don't just grab all those out. We have some slag, but we're going to put the steel in here, and then we are going to do the water wheel segments. So now we have the water wheel, but unfortunately, you can't just put this down. You actually need to hook this up to something to start generating power, and that is going to be the Kinetic Dynamo. So the Kinetic Dynamo is essentially what's going to be turned and generate power from this. So we've got a copper coil block, 3 iron, and 2 redstone, which is the reason we had to go so deep to get redstone. Granted, we needed to get diamond also, but surprisingly, it was actually easier for me to find diamond than redstone. So to make this, we need low voltage wire coil, and to make that, we are going to need copper wire, and to make that, we need a copper plate and shears, and to make that, we need the hammer and a copper ingot. So it is a little bit convoluted the way we have to do this, but let's make our shears right here. Let's make our copper plates right here. Grab those out, and then we can use our shears. We get, oh my gosh, we only get 1 of those per. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, how many do we need? Let's see if I can actually do math. So we have 8 low voltage wire coils, so 32. Or no, you get 4 of these per. Okay, never mind. So we need 8. Okay, well, that's not that bad. Maybe I should read before I talk. That's a good life lesson. Read before you open your mouth. My videos would go so much smoother if I actually read before I opened my mouth. I promise you guys, I can show you my degree. I did graduate with a degree in chemical engineering. I promise I'm not stupid. Let's just get that out of the way right now. I swear I am not stupid. No matter how much the video may disagree and tell you that I am, I swear I am not. There we go. There we go. Low voltage wire. Throw that around there. Copper coil block. Then we grab out our redstone. Really what you guys don't realize is I'm just stalling so that all the stuff in the ovens can finish. And now we have our Kinetic Dynamo. Now any side of the Kinetic Dynamo can be linked to these except the top and the bottom. That is where we're going to get the power and stuff from eventually. But any of the other sides can be linked, and we are going to place it right where this dirt block is. So we're going to actually put one right here, and we'll just hop down and put it right there. So it is going to be hooked up to this side. That is where the water wheel will go, and we can actually place it down. So if we throw it down right here, you can see it is pretty big. That's why this whole area is cleared out. And if you're wondering what I mapped off here, just so I can explain it, the dirt blocks are where source blocks of water are going to go. Now, ideally, each water wheel can generate up to a maximum of 30 RF per tick. Now, because you can have 3 water wheels hooked up in succession as a max to each kinetic dynamo, you can get 90 RF per tick at a maximum, theoretically. But I believe the actualized maximum is 88 RF per tick, considering to get the maximum, you need to have water turning on every possible side around this. So to set it up, there's optimized ways where you are going to put source blocks on all of these different blocks to get it to actually seem like it is spinning the whole way. So what it's going to do is source blocks are going to go in front right there, go around here and down, and then they're going to kind of cut over this. And then down here, source blocks are going to go there and push that way. So the water on this side is flowing there, and you are going to put source blocks up here that are going to flow this way. So it is a little bit complicated in how you do it, but that is how it functions. And so we're going to wait until we have all 3 of those to actually do it though. So still just going to be getting our creosote, and that's really the only thing we're going to do now. So I should probably cut the video because it's going to take a very long time. So again, I will talk to you guys when this is done. It's going to be a lot of sitting around and waiting for this creosote to finish because we are going to need, I think we've already gotten 3 buckets. We're going to need another 5. So we got 1 here. We're waiting on another, essentially 3.5 buckets to finish. So yeah, going to be a little bit, but I will jump back when it is done and we can finish things up for today. Okay guys, so we are back now. The last piece of coal turning into coke is about to happen. It has been such a long process. I wouldn't really say it's grueling because I'm not really doing anything. I'm browsing on my phone while I sit here and wait, but it took forever. So I did a couple things. I put down some glass over here, and that's what I was planning on doing. But of course we can't fill in this side until we have the water there and all of our wheels. So we're just gonna finish up putting all of the creosote onto the wood. And then with this, we are going to make, I want to say 4 of these, and we should have 4 additional treated planks in the end. If I didn't misclick them right there. There we go. We got that. We got our 1 piece of steel. There we go. We have our 2 additional water wheels. So we can come in here and you click them down right in the middle and right there. And can I actually get out of here? Oh, please. Tell me if I break this, it's actually going to come back to me. Do I need to use the hammer? Okay, please tell me if I break it, it's coming back. This will be the most horrendous thing ever. Oh my gosh, it came back. Okay, confirmed. You get it back. So, how do we want to do this? Oh, I guess I have to break down this wall right here and put it down. I'm in the way, apparently. Okay, we'll do this. What? What is in the way? Am I still? There's no way I'm still in the way. I was able to put it down when I was right in the center. There we go. Okay. Well, we're just going to fill this back in with our very precious stone because I want it to look nice. So there we go. Now we need to start putting water down. So we're going to grab bucket after bucket of water and start going to town on this and teaching you guys how to put it down. So the first place that we're going to put water down, and we're going to get some dirt to do this, and we're going to try and do it quick because it's going to spill out at the start, is we're going to come up here and we're going to put them down right here. So 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to, you can see they start spinning, and then we are going to fill in up here with stone on this top layer, and that should stop the water. And then we're going to come down and we need to fill in right here. So we're going to go down 1 more so we can get some more water. And grab 1. We should get rid of these right here. 2, 3. And we're going to put those down right here. So technically we really only need to do 2. But we're going to do that. And then again, we're going to cover those up with stone, so those count as additional flowing blocks because they're flowing in that direction. They make it go a little bit faster. And then the last ones are going to be down there, so we're going to do another 3, And these ones are a little bit easier. They won't spill all over us. So these ones are going to go 1, 2, 3 right there. And now what we're going to do is just put down glass around this, and we can fill in up here so it looks nice. I just think it'll look cool if we can see in there. And I did expect that we would run out of glass, so I made a little bit more. So there we go. We can see in at our fully spinning water wheel. This should be generating, and you can't get in here, I don't think. You just have to pull power from it, but it should be generating 88 RF per tick, which is the actual maximum, I believe. Theoretical max of 90, but an actual max of 88, I believe, or this is at least the most feasible setup to make in your world that won't take a ton of space. But it looks really cool, has some really awesome animations, and we actually have a pretty good early game base going on here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode and got a good idea of how to start things out. It is a little bit of a lengthy process starting out, but once you get things going, you get to start making some really awesome machines and making a very cool base. So let me know in the comments if you guys are looking forward to this series, if you watched me play through it once already, if you've been messing around with immersive engineering, all that good stuff. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I will talk to you later.
Standing in a glass bowl at the end of a black hole, cold lost and upside down.